Recently, some runners asked if I could make some individual boss guides, so here's my first attempt at one. I'll try to cover the basics and some more advanced techniques that you can play around with. When making a guide like this, I think it's important to remember that everyone is different. Some people want their strats to be as fast as possible, even if the run becomes harder, while others want their runs to be as safe and easy as possible, even if they take longer. So the goal here is to share all the viable options I know of, regardless of the complexity or speed, so any runner can find something that would suit them. Now, I know that the fight that's being covered here isn't particularly difficult or interesting, but this is the first video I've ever made that's not just a recording of me playing a game. So this video is a bit of a proof of concept where I play around with some stuff. So please leave any feedback or ideas in the comments or contact me on Discord so I can improve the future guides. Of course, in the first Genichiro fight, the player's tools are very limited, but there's still a lot we can do to influence the way the fight ends up going. As a general rule, we always want to be attacking until the boss either deflects our attack or forces us to react to something. This is a very common idea that works on the majority of bosses in the game. By forcing the boss to constantly stagger, block, or deflect, we're severely limiting the amount of choices the AI can make. It turns out that many moves and combinations can only happen from an idle state, or in situations where we didn't attack even though we could have. So here are a few examples of situations we want to avoid. None of the things you just saw will happen when we're attacking Genichiro aggressively. While we're attacking, his options are limited to a thrust attack, a sweep, a jumping slam, and a long combo of slashes. Let's go over these attacks in more detail first. For the thrust attack, we have two options, either dodge or deflect. When dodging, remember that thrusts will ignore dash iframes, so it's important to dash well before the attack comes out so we can cleanly outspace it. For this reason, we want to dash diagonally forward right during the windup. Geni will likely track and hit us if we're dashing directly to the right, or if we wait too long. After dodging, do a regular attack or a charge attack in order to hit the boss before they get a chance to reach an idle state. Deflecting this attack will cause a lot of knockback, so it's important to close the distance again. Dashing forward gives you enough time to attack and force Geni to block before he does anything weird. If we don't do this, the boss can get into an idle state and choose a wide variety of attacks that we saw earlier. We don't have too much time to spare here, but you can cue the dash input very early into the deflect animation to make sure that we're dashing as soon as possible. If you're too far away from Geni when deflecting this attack, the knockback animation could get skipped. This should happen very rarely if you're attacking as often as possible, but if it does happen, simply take one small step forward before attacking, and Geni will cancel whatever he's doing. Overall, I would recommend the dodging method because it's a little bit faster. The sweep attack has a very easy tell. Genichiro runs to the right before lowering his sword to the ground. Simplest way to deal with this attack is to ignore it entirely. Just keep attacking and the boss will stagger out of this attack before it can hit you. You can charge up a thrust attack to stagger him slightly faster, but jumping is never necessary. The jumping slam attack can be dodged in the same way as the thrust. This attack has some follow-ups, but only when you're in front of Geni after he lands. By dodging forward right, these follow-ups won't happen, so you can simply attack after dodging. This attack has some tracking while Geni is jumping, so make sure to dodge after he reaches the apex of his jump. If you do dodge early, or end up in a weird position, it can be a good idea to hold off on attacking for just a second, to make sure that you don't get clipped by the thrust follow-up. While I personally wouldn't recommend it, you can also deflect this attack and deal with its follow-ups. In phase 1, Geni will always follow up with a thrust attack. From the current position, after deflecting, you cannot dodge this, so deflect again, and dodge forward to close the gap. In phase 2, a sweep follow-up gets added, which is easy enough to jump over. Keep in mind that if you decide to headstomp here, it's unsafe to try and make Geni block with your mid-air attacks. This is part of the reason why I wouldn't recommend deflecting the jump slam in the first place. The jumping slam is one of the attacks that offers a good opportunity for some dead angles. The idea here is to unlock the camera and aim your attacks so that they hit the boss while simultaneously moving to where you need to be to stay safe. Often enemies will not block your attack if you're not facing them, so this can lead to some extra free vitality hits. This requires some quick reactions and careful positioning, but it speeds up the fight a fair amount. Of course, the inputs are going to be different if you're using a controller, but the general movement of the character should be roughly the same as what you're seeing here. Before the long combo, Geni will step to the left, do a spin, and start winding up the attack. Even with good accuracy, it's not possible to consistently deflect all the slashes. The simplest solution is to run away during the wind-up animation. As usual, make sure to close back in after the combo is done, so the boss doesn't reach an idle state. This attack also offers some slightly more advanced punish opportunities if you want to speed up the fight. From the start of the wind-up animation, you have time for up to 3 more attacks. If you do all 3, then the timing to deflect the start of the combo lines up very well. Deflect the first 2 or 3 slashes of the combo before sprinting away. You can deflect the final attack of the combo while sprinting to avoid the long stagger animation that would happen otherwise. If Geni blocks your attack but doesn't choose one of the moves discussed so far, he is guaranteed to deflect your next attack. After he does, a few things can happen. He can back away, do a quick counter attack, perform the jumping slam, or start another long combo. If Geni backs up, just walk after him and keep attacking. You won't have time to do any weird moves. You can hold forward even before you're sure of what Geni is doing, because the deflect animation will keep you in place if you need to deflect instead. Even though it's safe, I don't recommend dodging after him. This is because the walking method offers a big advantage during the next Genichiro fight, so it's good to use the same method for both. Here's an example, which I won't cover in detail for now, but just try to build the muscle memory of walking if you plan on using this. If he does the counter attack, just deflect and keep swinging. Even though this attack is a bit quick, resist the urge to instinctively deflect before you know exactly what's going on. This avoids awkward situations and ensures that you won't be too slow to chase in case he backs up. The jumping slam can be handled the same way as before, just keep in mind that this situation is slightly different. You won't be attacking Geni as he jumps, so make sure not to dodge too early. Dodging after he reaches his maximum height ensures that he won't track you. Even though the long combo looks similar to the one discussed already, it functions a little differently. After deflecting, Geni will quickly move his sword behind him and do 2 slashes. After you deflect them, he will do a spin and wind up the combo. This is your chance to walk away if you don't want to punish. To punish, perform a counter attack while Geni is spinning. Now deflect 2 more slashes and dodge forward right. Geni will not be able to track you, and you can simply walk around him and attack him from behind, even while the combo is still going. Keep in mind that this method will not work on the other version of the combo, because Geni will track you with that one. This should cover all conventional options for the first Genichiro fight. If you have any questions or feedback to improve guides like this, feel free to post them in the comments or contact me through the Teammate List Discord. And good luck with the runs.